Hello, beautiful humans! Live from New York, it's Monday night. I am your host, Rory Kelly, and over to my that way is Diggy Cat, the most excellent and diggiest of cats. Give me a little paw bump over there, Diggy Cat. There we go. Oh, done. Diggy Cat is an excellent human from the band Vuff Cup, who, by the way, has some awesome stuff coming out soon and has several EPs and songs and albums you can buy right meow on Bandcamp. So you really, really want to follow them and support them. And now I'm going to get the hell out of the way and let Diggy Cat sing to you. Make sure you direct your attention down below to the links and the virtual tip jar information that's scrolling handily across. All right, bye.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Rory. Really do appreciate it a lot. Let's see here. So, you know what? If you want to, if you feel like you're going to be in for a good time, feel free to hit share, subscribe below, all that good stuff. Okay, so it's 4 o'clock over here in California. You know what? I think I am going to start off with a song from the Blind EP. And you can get that on Bandcamp and Spotify and Amazon and iTunes and iHeartRadio and all that good stuff. What inspired this song was there's a guy named Alan Francis, and I kept seeing his name appear in a couple different books. So his story was interesting to me. So I was like, well, let me try and piece together his story and find out who this Alan Francis is. And I thought, you know what, this guy has a really interesting story, and he deserves, like, a comprehensive piece on his own. So I wrote this song for Alan Francis. Alan, wherever you are, here you go, man. It's called Pandora Avenue. Father's house in the early 1830s, though I can't recall. They hit it off so well, they became pals, kept an eye out for girls at the Illinois bar. Alan paid his way as a newspaper man. Abe was captain in the Black Hawk War, when Black Hawk surrendered from the land. Abe then went back to Illinois. Rutledge and Owens had captured his heart, but some things just aren't meant to be. Legend has it was at Alan's house that Abraham first met the young Mary. Go, Patty Bell. Thank you for joining. Alan spent some time raising a family, too eager to wed daughters and also 2 sons. He laid the foundation for his Francis family, did everything that could be done. Years have passed and now Abe's in the office. Call for demand is an American consul. So he first established the very first one in Victoria, Canada. Then he called Alan. Yo, Ella Faye! Alan was appointed and moved his family, took up residency on Pandora Avenue. 2 enclosed yards and a stable for horses. Was a big house that had gas in each room. As fine as could be for the next 2 years. Abe took 22 states in re-election, but it all came to a halt at 10 p.m. April 14th during our American cousin. Following decade, Alan's gone lot of the time. Daughter Emily Mrs. Francis got word from England. A young lad needed a home, his dad was her friend. John was his name, a 21-year-old merchant. Needed a home since a row with the Turners. Set up to live there for 6 months only. Moved to California on his 22nd birthday. Yo, Miguel, thank you for joining. Alan was moved to Ontario to now serve there as the consul. He met his end in a street accident and was buried in Ross Bay. Mrs. Francis lived to 1894, 16 years after dear Alan's burial. She died in a home she lived 30 years, a big house on Pandora Avenue. Yo, Beyonce! There we go, Pandora Avenue. You can get that off of the Blind EP. I want to move these comments over just a smidge. Nice, cool, cool. I can see things here. I like it. Hey, thank you all for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. It's so weird because I'm actually on landscape on my phone. So, like, I'm looking at the screen, but it looks like I'm not looking at the camera. But if I'm looking at the camera, then I have no idea what's going on with anything else. So it's it's kind of like where is Diggy Cat looking at? We really don't know. So, hey, but wherever you are, first off, peppermint oil, always good. Wherever you are, could you please hit subscribe or like and share? Let's do this. For those of you playing along at home, this next song is Capo 2. This song takes place March 4th, 1857 in Washington, D.C. Hey Fred, John Wood made history by taking a picture. Taney swore him in. Dark as the night were the last 4 years, and a new time was about to begin. A two-room temporary structure where we danced and ate. One of 6,000 people to pay $5 at the gate. Frank Leslie's illustrated newspaper showed the scene fairly well. A 20-foot white ceiling with gold stars and a 4-foot high cake made with care. A float drawn by 6 white horses. The walls were red, white, and blue. An orchestra of 40 members playing out the hearts and all the hits for you. 1,200 quarts of ice cream, a lavish dinner for all. And we never stopped to ever think twice what would happen after the ball. What would happen after the ball? There you go, after the ball. Written about the inauguration of James Buchanan. Okay, y'all. I want to take you on an interesting trip right here. I want to, I love doing research and stuff. And I was kind of talking to Ayla a little bit about this. About kind of a controversial conspiracy that I don't know if too many people have really brought up. Piecing together different parts of history and making a complete story that maybe we haven't really necessarily seen before. And the question that I'm posing is, did Abraham Lincoln know that he was going to die, and did he decide to not do anything about it? So that's what we're going to kind of talk about here. Let me know your thoughts on this. I'm just telling you a story now. You came for story time. As the Civil War raged on, President Abraham Lincoln took a personal interest in the formation of police force for the United States Capitol. D.C. was barely under control, turned into a rowdy crowd of crime, crowds, and enemy spies. Signed into law by the President 4 months into the Civil War, the officers were worked 12-hour shifts 7 days a week with no holidays or vacation time. Officers were originally not issued uniforms or badges and had to purchase their own firearms. Kind of sounds like the government today. Help us help us. Lincoln chose his friend of 17 years and former law partner, Ward Hill Layman, as the U.S. Marshal for the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. Layman was a fiercely loyal bodyguard, self-appointed out of friendship. He was said to have patrolled the White House grounds every night. Good old Layman. Layman took up a lot of space as his 6'4" frame carried 30 pounds of arsenal. White House staff noted that sometimes they would see an off-duty Layman in the middle of the night with a blanket sleeping in front of the president's bedroom door. Ward Hill Layman and United States Secretary of War Edwin Stanton urged the president to have bodyguards. These guards wore plain clothes and concealed their weapons that they probably had to buy themselves. In Lincoln's lifetime, he experienced the death of his mother when he was 9 and assisted in building her coffin. His sister, 2 years older, took care of him, but she died exactly 3 weeks before her 21st birthday during a stillborn birth, as well as his first love, Anne Rutledge, who was 22, and 2 young sons, 3-year-old Eddie, and 12 years later, in 1862, 11-year-old Willie. First Lady Mary Lincoln was known for erratic behavior, including smacking Lincoln with a piece of wood, throwing coffee in his face, striking him with a broomstick, and throwing anything in her vicinity towards the president. Out of 130 known photographs of Lincoln, there are none with Mary. Lincoln may have suffered mercury poisoning by taking blue mass pills for what is now described as clinical depression, which may have caused nerve damage that affected his gait. Blue mass pills contain 64 8-point milligrams of mercury, which made up 33% of the pill. It's speculated he had a genetic disease called multiple endocrine neoplasia type 2B. Almost all patients develop thyroid cancer. Most untreated individuals live to their mid-30s, but there are several cases of individuals living into their 50s. William Henry Johnson worked for Lincoln for 4 years as a barber, valet, handyman, messenger, and bodyguard, and the only person from Lincoln's Illinois entourage to relocate to Washington, D.C. The president referred to Johnson as the most useful member of the presidential party and trusted him to carry messages and at times significant sums of money. Lincoln contracted smallpox 18 months before his death. Johnson took care of him but died of smallpox himself at age 30 less than 2 months later. Lincoln arranged and paid for his burial and headstone. Lincoln paid off the mortgage of the Johnson family home and sent them money. Less than 2 weeks later and 2 days before the president's 55th birthday, the White House stables caught fire. Lincoln ran out amongst those trying to extinguish the flames, and he burst open the stable door himself. All 6 animals had perished, including 2 ponies, one belonging to his 10-year-old son Tad, and the other once belonging to Willie, who passed away 2 years earlier. Lincoln wept and told Tad the next day, "The horses had gone where the good horses go." The Civil War was ended nearly after 4 years later, on April 9th, 1865, with over 600,000 dead. Lincoln told his friend and bodyguard, William H. Crook, he had dreams the last 3 nights of being assassinated. Lincoln gave Layman an assignment in Richmond, Virginia. Before Layman left, he told Lincoln not to go out at night while he was away, and particularly not the theater. On the day of assassination, Lincoln told people how happy he felt. William H. Crook stayed on duty after his shift because the next bodyguard was several hours late. This bodyguard was John Frederick Parker, a 34-year-old Southerner from Virginia who moved to Washington, D.C. to originally become a carpenter. During his first 4 years as an officer, he was charged with dereliction of duty and conduct unbecoming of an officer, several times being drunk on duty, sleeping on streetcars while at work, and visiting a brothel. Parker was typically reprimanded for these acts, but never fired. Crook advised Lincoln not to go to the theater that night, or to have him attend as an extra bodyguard. As Lincoln left, Crook didn't even realize until after the assassination. Instead of Lincoln telling him as always, "Good night, Crook," he said to his friend, "Goodbye, Crook." During the play, Officer Parker claimed Lincoln relieved him of his post until the end of the final act. So during intermission, Parker went next door to a tavern, the same tavern John Wilkes Booth was supposedly at before he went to the theater. Less than 9 hours later, as the president died, his breathing drew quieter, his face calmer. It was noted his last breath was smiling, and the moment of his death, his secretary John Hay said Lincoln had looked of an unspeakable peace that came upon his worn features. Assistant Secretary of the Treasurer Field later wrote, "It was the first time in 4 years that a peaceful expression crossed his face. I had never seen upon the president's face an expression more genial and pleasing." Layman retired from his post as Marshal of the District of Columbia 2 months later. A year after Lincoln's death, Layman purchased the funeral rail cart that transported Lincoln's remains to Springfield, Illinois, for a little less than $10,000. Parker was charged with neglect of duty and tried on May 3, 1865, but no transcripts of the case were kept. The complaint was dismissed, and a month later he continued to work as a White House bodyguard, being assigned to Mrs. Lincoln one night before she moved out of the house. She yelled at him and claimed he had helped to murder the president, and she would hold him responsible for her husband's death. He tried to defend himself, but she angrily dismissed him. Layman and Crook also blamed Parker for Lincoln's death. 3 years later, Parker was fired from the police force for sleeping on the job again. He went back to work as a carpenter until he died in 1890 at the age of 60, from pneumonia complicated by asthma. John Frederick Parker was buried in an unmarked grave in Glenwood Cemetery, located on Lincoln Road. This song's about Edwin Booth. It's called "I'm Not Your Brother." It's hard to grow up in your daddy's footsteps when he enables competition between us 3 teens. I tried to be better and the best that I could. I had performances down to a T. When Dad died on the steamboat when I was 19, I sailed off to conquer the world. My brothers and I joined forces for a benefit to fund a Shakespeare statue in New York. But I still don't know if it was subconscious, but I'm not our family. I was on my own, no one could tell me no, it's confirmed. My popularity. By the time I was a widower, I had saved a man from the traps as we waited for the train. He'd fallen off the platform, I rescued him by the collar. He turned around and thanked me by name. While managing a theater and buying another, further into prominence I rose, captivating audiences. I bade them farewell, knowing they'd return again for my prose. But I still don't know if it was subconscious, but I'm so like the family. I was on my own, no one could tell me no, it's confirmed. My popularity. My baby brother became more erratic and we just couldn't see eye to eye. He was arrested for treasonous remarks but pled an union oath and just paid a fine. I told him he was no longer welcome at my house. I fear he's gone insane. Whatever you do, brother, just watch yourself and don't tarnish the good family name. I still don't know if it was subconscious, but I'm going like the family. I was on my own, no one could tell me no, it's confirmed. thoughts could barely recover. Our president's dead, and the one to blame is my used-to-be younger brother. I disowned him and don't speak his name, but I was comforted by a later letter from a friend who complimented my actions in saving Lincoln's son who fell on the train tracks. But I still don't know if it was my subconscious, but I'm not my brother, you see. As a unionist, I feel all lives are equal, and I'm not my brother, you see. But I still don't know I went so insane and tarnished the family name. I try to do good all of my life and correct the family shame. I'm not my brother. Oh, I'm not my brother. Oh, I'm not my brother. Oh, I'm not my brother. Oof. There you go. I'm not my brother. If you enjoy these history lessons, then feel free to send some money if you want, and I can do some more research. We have Venmo at VuffCup, and we have PayPal at luckystarradio@gmail.com. And you know what? Oh, I see Peter Hansen. What's up, Peter? We're also going to learn foreign languages today as well. So what about we learn 5 words in German right now? Do you have your pens and papers? Okay. 5 words in German. Perfect. Perfect. Insect. Insect. Man. Mon. Banana. Banana. Rice. Rice. Good job. Good job. Good job. So now you've learned 5 words in German. I'm very proud of you. Nice, Peter. German heritage. Heck yeah. Ah, Michelle. How you doing? Okay, you know what? Let's bring it up a bit. I don't mean the mood. I don't mean the mood, people. It's not that time yet. No. There's still deaths to talk about, okay? But let's bring it up to something more current. I live a lot in the 1800s. So current for me is like 102 years ago. This song is called 1919. Thank you all for taking the time out and hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. Hadn't had a day this warm since the fall. Above freezing in the northeast. Everything's the same that day in the afternoon. Sitting at Keeney Square, a peaceful lunch view. Drivers running errands in their Model T sedans. Wednesday routine of blacksmiths and pavers. Cylinders 50 feet tall and 90 feet round, holding 2 million gallons of molasses. A shipment to the facility arrived yesterday. Reduced viscosity made the pour quick. A thermal expansion of what was already there would test the tank to the maximum. We were riding on the highs and lows of the times, drink casketless mass burials and celebration. Talks in the Ruth series championship about the flu lessened our population by 1,000. We hadn't had a day this warm since the fall. 40 degrees in the northeast. Everything's the same that day, like we thought it was. And in a flash, all our lives changed. Sounded like a train, but our feet were on the ground, swept up and thrown back as the earth had shook around. A streetcar knocked off the track, a truck tossed in the harbor, a sweet smell rising up, whistle of propelling rivets. A home and office flat and firehouse heavily damaged. We looked up to the sky to see what was coming at us. 25 feet high and moving twice the speed of a car. The molasses tank had busted and was engulfing us all. All the streets became flooded, the molasses intensified. Those locked down tried to get up, but they just laid where they died. Some were thrown into the harbor, some were glazed over and smothered. 120 people hurt and 21 died from the explosion. Took weeks to clean it all with losing sound to sorbent. Everyone drank molasses, so now everything is sticky. Legend has it decades later, still on hot summer days. You can still smell molasses that was born in 1919. That was made in 1919. That was made in 1919. That was made in 1919. There we go. Also known as the Molassacre. True story. Happened in mid-January, 1919. I don't know why I'm opening up another water when I have one open. How's it sound out there? How's everyone doing? Let me know. Are you having a good time, people? Come on! Who wants to dance? Should we change the mood? Totally change the mood? Here's a song from 12 years ago. It's off of the Spider Milk album. You can only get this album on Bandcamp. Rory, thank you for putting the Bandcamp up there, by the way. I do really appreciate that. A lot of the earlier albums are not on Spotify or anything like that because, well, I'll be completely honest. I didn't, if I would know now if I knew then what I knew now, sound-wise, those albums would sound pretty good. But I didn't. So that's why I'm like, you know what? They can just be on Bandcamp. But I'm kind of contemplating of going back and visiting Spider Milk, the album, and kind of using those as demos and maybe recreating the album. The song is called Whiskey and Ipecac. Time to dance. Think you can handle what's on your mind, and then you go and drink yourself blind. Start to feel the rush right before the hush and tell yourself that it's all fine. It's like you need a little pill to get up a hill and then you roll right down. Laying amongst your pool of thoughts, man, pick yourself up from the ground. Dance for me, baby, dance for me, baby, full of whiskey and ipecac. You know when you're starting with the moves like that, there is no turning back. Whoever said to drink till you're dead, well, cheers and bottoms up. Cheers later, it puts no sense, and your bottom's all end up on top. Well, I don't mind you if you don't mind me. Point life is just stupidity. It's all in good fun, like the drinking once was, so don't you look at me embarrassedly. Dance for me, baby, dance for me, baby, full of whiskey and ipecac. You know when you're starting with the moves like that, there is no turning back. Dance for me, baby, dance for me, baby, full of whiskey and ipecac. You know when you're starting with the words like that, there is no turning back. Dance for me, baby, full of whiskey and ipecac. Nice. Looks like people are having a good time. So maybe I'll continue with my next half hour. Oh, okay. Here's a song that was the 5th single and the last single off of Energy. And you can find the music video on YouTube, and it's kind of like, well, let's invite Vuff Cup to a birthday party. What could possibly go wrong? Well, you know, when you invite us anywhere, things are gonna happen, man. Things are gonna happen. Things are gonna happen. This is called These Games! Hello, how are you doing? I can't get you off of my mind. I'm leaving room for expectations while I'm waiting for you to be mine. There's some things that you don't know, like how I think about you all of the time. Come on, baby, you don't have to stop realizing a crime. I know you mean not to play these games, but you're not calling me equals out to the same. My heart can't take much more, so stop stopping yourself from entering doors. Stop playing these, stop playing these, stop playing these games. I met you earlier this year, you had energy something like mine. Well, last week we met again, I found out you're a Gemini. This explains a lot of the things you said. Having 6 cats would be like living a dream. So come on, baby, you don't have to sleep to live with me in my reality. I know you mean not to play these games, but you're not calling me equals out to the same. My heart can't take much more, so stop stopping yourself from entering doors. I know you mean not to call me games, but you're not calling me equals out to the same. My heart can't take much more, so stop stopping yourself from entering doors. Whoa. Whew, that fade out though. Okay. Yes, Beyonce, that's a good video. That's a fun video. Very fun to make. I liked it. Liked it a lot. Hey, okay, let's do more foreign language. Who wants to learn 5 words in Russian? Yeah, 5 words in Russian. Get your pens and papers out. So interesting. Seeing the comments, because I have 2 different places I'm seeing comments. And on the phone right here, the latest comment is on the bottom. While on the computer over here, the latest comment is on top. So it's all like... Okay, 5 words in Russian. Here we go. Motor is motor. Radio is radio. Park is park. Luggage is luggage. And taxi is taxi. Good job. Good job. Look at y'all go. Now you can go to all these different places and just say all these words. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. Yes, Koshka means cat in Russian. Yes. That is so true. Okay, you know what? Let us do a B-side. We have not done a B-side. What about we play a B-side off of the Don't Cut Baby single? It's a true story, unfortunately, but it makes a great song. It's called The Neighbors Think We're Idiots! Sit and watch the neighbors as they pass by. She watches her young son play as the drink wine. Good thing she's Christian, sent from the blood of Christ. Wish I had an excuse for my habits too, wouldn't that be nice? She's got a daughter that doesn't talk, and another that doesn't go out much. She likes to park her car in my driveway, leaves the trunk up in the pouring rain. She's my neighbor, so I put up with it. The neighbors think put up with it. The neighbors think we're idiots. She tries to put on a smile when she sees me there. She says, have a nice day, like I care. I guess I'm realizing that I'm really starting to. It doesn't pain me to see her like it used to. She's my neighbor, so I put up with it. The neighbors think we're idiots. She's my neighbor, so I put up with it. The neighbors think we're idiots. She's my neighbor, so I put up with it. The neighbors think we're idiots. She's my neighbor, so I put up with it. The neighbors think we're idiots, idiots, idiots. Well, I saw her today at the GRA, hanging out in the cold. She had a cap on and a peer slip and watching her baby grow. Well, I passed by, our eyes met, and I told her I loved her look. I kept walking, then I stopped and thought maybe I was hooked. I looked back and saw she was gone. I looked back to where I belong. I peeked through the door, saw her looking at half. Thought to myself, oh, I like that. Oh, walked right in, needed a new friend. Looked like she had fit the call. Walking to the table where two sitting at and initiated some talk. I comment again on how she looked and handed her my business card. I extended my paw, said I'm Diggy Cat. She said, my name's TikTok. Oh, TikTok. Oh, TikTok. Oh, TikTok. Oh, TikTok. She reminded me of a wolf I once knew. Someone said, look really freaking cute. So I decided to write a melody about this encounter you see. Woo! Come on, everybody, let's do it! Whoa, TikTok! Whoa, TikTok! Yeah! Whoa, TikTok! Yeah! Whoa, TikTok! Yeah! Woo! Okay, okay. Woof. Okay, so those last three songs, if you want them, you're going to have them. They're on Bandcamp and Spotify and Amazon and iTunes and iHeartRadio and Pandora, all that good stuff. So, hey, I see some great comments. Thank you. Thank you so much. I see Barbie's here. Okay. Good. I love it. Did I say wolf? Wolf. When did I say wolf? At the end, maybe I said whoa. The F is silent. Beyonce wouldn't approve of that. I'd say something more, but I won't. I'll be good. Oh my God, it's Lucky Lamond. Hey, Lucky. What's up, Lucky? I was almost going to be like, it's Lucky Lamond, hide. And then I was like, wait. I mean, I could be like, hide. And then just like, surprise. I mean, that works, right? I don't know if that works. I'm glad you guys are having fun. I'm having fun, so I'm glad that you all are having fun too. Okay, hey, I've been rearranging the studio and going through different boxes and finding stuff, and so I found a song that I wrote 12 years ago that I didn't even know I had to print it up. I thought it was one of those songs that, you write and then it's somewhere on an old hard drive, and I ran across the song. And I thought, oh my God, yes, I really like this song. So I am going to play it. Yeah, always boxes, Peter, always. I just started practicing this song last night, so give you a little leeway here, okay, folks? But the song is called I Want to Make a Memory. And before I start the song, I need your opinion on something. If a cannibal is late to a dinner party, do you give him the cold shoulder? Let me know. song's called I Want to Make a Memory. Every day I say I want to make a memory, one for us today. I want to make a memory, one that lasts always. I want to make a memory. Come and help the change. Let's all make a memory. Peter, I got so much Rough Cup on cassettes, it's ridiculous, by the way. If we just woke up with a conscious effort, we could make a change today. If we just smiled at the strangers that pass by, a smile might return our way. Don't be afraid to look in the face of strangers. Remember, my friends, that we were one too. Now look at us hugging high and goodbye, laughing at things, improving our moods. Have you ever wondered why you're the way you are? Were you conditioned from the fears of your loved ones? Fear's just fear, but love can conquer all. Open your heart, someone needs love, shine on. Every second you are with someone, you are creating a memory. You have the power to choose the right impact and what you want it to be. Don't be afraid to look in the face of loved ones. Tell the truth, not what they expect to hear. If you're confused, then you need to stop thinking. Your feelings will always steer you clear. Have you ever wondered why you're the way you are? Were you conditioned from the fears of your loved ones? Fear's just fear, but love can conquer all. So open your heart, someone needs love, shine on. Here we go. Oh, go for it, Barbie. Yeah, absolutely. Right, that punk rock positivity. Hey, you know what? Can we give a huge shout out to Rory Kelly? You know, Rory's been doing this, the Monday Night Muses now for, I'd say going on 40 years. I think it's about 40 years she's been doing it. And it's great. You know, I come to every one. And there's always so much talent, and to be a part of this talent that's on here really means a lot. And like even right now, she's doing all these behind the scene things, you know, that we don't even see, you know, probably finding like a ring light and stuff like that. But also, you know, keeping engaged in the comment section, and then like throwing up different comments and stuff like that, and doing the ticker for us and everything. So Rory, we really appreciate you. Thank you. You give us a place to congregate every Monday. And that's something. That kind of leads us into our next song. You know what? I want to be real with you guys for a minute. That's why you come here, right? To be real. Okay. As a musician, as an artist, as a creator, and anyone else out there that's an artist, a creator, a musician, sometimes I think it's easy to kind of go, oh yeah, I got some albums out, I'm doing this, doing that. But you know what? Every time we release music, we're leaving a little part of our legacy right there. Something for people to rediscover decades later, centuries later. You know? I mean, how many times have we discovered an artist that has long since gone? And go, whoa, this is amazing, you know? And so, and I notice sometimes, you know, with certain artists, how they, you know, certain bands, they break up. And, you know, sometimes it happens. And then other times, you know, I kind of wonder, does it have to happen? Or could they work through it? But the thing is, it's kind of like, you know, if you're an artist, if you're a creator, to keep doing it. Because you are someone's favorite artist out there. That's what it comes down to. Everyone is someone's favorite artist, you know? And I don't know who, but there's someone out there that goes, Buff Cup's my favorite, you know? And so, as a fan of music, we all have our favorites, and we all wait for that next album, that next single, that next something, because it brings us, you know, a little bit of fulfillment and just a great mood. So this here, the song is called Take It Further, and it's about passing on the torch. It's about honoring ourselves and acknowledging ourselves, the important roles that we play as creators on Earth. So here we go. Value the space you occupy, singing your songs till you die, inspiring others with your path, bringing a new torch you to pass. Just like how I borrowed from you, and knowing my deeds will inspire too. Everyone's someone's favorite beat, and if you can dream, you can be anything. Take it further than those before. May the next generation take us furthermore. We write our legacies every day. Centuries will turn, but in history we'll stay. Just like how it go back to you. I know that you'll discover me too. There you go. Take it further. You know, you can find us almost anywhere. Type in Vufcup, V-U-F-C-U-P. We're on Snapchat and Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and TikTok and Rizzle and Twitch. All those places. We're probably places that we shouldn't be. What about we go back to the 1800s? I live a lot of my life in the 1800s. Actually, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you can see it from here. But can you see it? Maybe you can. Maybe I need to stand up. I have a tattoo that says 1881. And because I live in the 1800s. And 1881 signifies, you know, a lot of different things. A couple things that we're going to be talking about now. But, you know, 1881 is when Billy the Kid supposedly died. And of course, there's some historians that are like, no, he died that day by Pat Garrett, and I respect their belief with that. I question it though. Reading a bunch of stuff, I do have a lot of questions. I'm not fully convinced that he died in 1881. 1881 is also when Modest Mussorgsky passed away from the Five, and he was the first member of the Five to pass away. So really kind of signified an end for the Five, even though they weren't together anymore as a band, a Russian artist of composers. And it was also a year in 1881 that we had three presidents. Hayes ended his term, Garfield came in, but got assassinated, and I think Garfield would have made an amazing president. I really, really would have loved to seen what Garfield would have done. I think he would have been really, really good. But then Arthur came in. This song's about Josiah Scurlock. He's also known as Doc Scurlock. But he's a very, very interesting story. And I thought Josiah, Doc Skurlock, needed a song. You know, this one I don't play a whole lot, so give me a little leeway here. It's called The Luckiest Man. This time it takes place in Alabama, the 6th of 11 children. Tallapoosa County in January, the son of Priestley and Esther studied medicine down in New Orleans. He went to Mexico to earn a check. Got his front teeth knocked out over a card game. One a bullet went through his mouth and out his neck. You see, Josiah was a Capricorn, 5'8" and a temper to boot. Went into the old to the new. Worked as a land rider and cattle defender, but soon the worst became more than a few. Dark blonde hair and brown eyes, Josiah could raise a mountain. No matter how tough the times, Josiah could go forth and prosper. Natives of the land had surprise attacked them. Both had died, Josiah hid amongst the rocks. The long fight finally ended when Josiah killed the Indian leader. But they wanted a souvenir, so they took Holt's arm. When another rider met with the same fate, Josiah proclaimed that he was done. His boss refused to pay him for his work, so Josiah stole saddles, horses, and a gun. Made his way down to Arizona, became friends with the guy from Georgia. On the Gila River they opened a factory, one of the workers being a guy named Henry. With his dark blonde hair and brown eyes, Josiah could face a mountain. No matter how tough the times, Josiah could go forth and prosper. With his dark blonde hair and brown eyes, Josiah could face a mountain. No matter how tough the times, Josiah could go forth and prosper. There we go, The Luckiest Man. Got time for one more song. Barbie, I see that you said that past life, you were a teacher. That's awesome. That's awesome. I was in the 1800s. Catting around, like cats do. Okay, so, last song. Thank you so much to Rory Kelly for letting me be on Monday Night Muses, opening up, entertaining you all with foreign languages and history lessons. And we got one more history lesson coming up. Stick around for Rory Kelly after this, because she's going to come on and she's going to knock your invisible socks off. Speaking of 1881, here we go. This song is called Port Stockton. It's off of the Blind EP. Woo! Come on! Yeah, let's do it. Everyone in Trinidad, Colorado wondered who this new Texan was. They didn't have to wonder long. He again pulled out a gun, shot a man, and now he's on the run. Him and Brother Ike took up new ideas. They sat down in the Animas Valley. They formed a gang, and cattle they would ring with shootouts and hangings. They pretended to be cattlemen that prospered, but the only thing they prospered at was thieving. They stole so much cattle, they opened a business to sell beef to those they'd been robbing. This Texan became town marshal while thriving stealing the neighbors' cows. Him gang held Durango in their hands and weren't afraid to shoot any man down. Fort Stockton, with his average height and average build, and sandy mustache and rugged ways, he wooed a minister's daughter to marry him. She bore a millinery just made. Fort Stockton, 4th of January, 81. Everyone had enough of his ways. They stood outside his house, blatantly in view. When Ford opened the door, they blew him away. Fort Stockton, Fort Stockton. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you all hanging out with me. I love you guys. Thank you. Stick around for Rory Kelly, who's coming up right now over on the window.
Hi. Thank you so much, Diggy Cat, for playing. Everybody, thank Diggy Cat with your dollars. Throw some money his way in his virtual tip jar at VuffCup on Venmo or PayPal, luckystarradio@gmail.com, or get some bang for your butt. Not your butt, your buck at VuffCup Official. I didn't say those words. That didn't happen. At vuffcupofficial.bandcamp.com, where you can get some of the songs you heard today. Oh my goodness. Make sure that you also take the moment to follow them on the Bandcamps. Now, we can do a little pop bump right now, you and me, Diggy Cat. Give me that elbow. Rude. I think we did it. Okay. Guys, stay where you are, because I'm going to start a second stream. Just one moment. Make sure you refresh your page or get back to my homepage on Facebook if you're on Facebook, or Twitch, on YouTube, wherever you are. Make sure also you follow, like, subscribe so that you can tune in for Monday Night Muses again. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Farewell. Diggy Cat, any last words?